You said you're on a dating app, so how is dating then in quarantine going?
Really not great. It's not, I'm feel more single than ever, but it's fine.
I want your hot, throbbing.
I want to start with this new movie, A Nice Girl Like You. To kind of set it up for the people out there, it's about a girl who's dating this guy and he breaks up with her, calls her pornophobic. She kind of goes on this sexual exploration of her own. So what was it about this subject that kind of drew you in?
For me, like the whole time reading it, I was like, I'm so uncomfortable, which made me, I was like, I have to do it, because that told me a lot of other people are still uncomfortable about this topic, because women aren't supposed to be this person, but we are. We can be sexual and we can be open about being sexual. It's not just the men. That's ridiculous. That's so like 1960s. We're in 2020. We should embrace who we are and we should embrace our sexuality, because that's like so much of who we are, how we express ourselves, how we are in relationships. And you know, this movie is more on the nose, but like of like, let's go to a strip club, let's go do all these things. But the takeaway should be, own whoever it is that you are, whoever it is that you love, own it.
Just admit, you're not into sex. It's kind of like you're pornophobic.
Try saying something racy.
You need to decide. It's me or the porn.
Did you at all talk to some of your girlfriends or even some of your guy friends about this? Like, did you research anything?
I kind of, because my character was supposed to be like slightly in the dark and slightly uncomfortable, I was like, I am too. I'm just gonna like roll with the punches, because there were a lot of things on that list that I hadn't done. Like, we went to an actual sex convention, which was, whoa, like so cool.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see people just completely comfortable with who they were, you know, because we can all be super judgmental about people in that industry, and it's like, I commend them. They're just like free. I wish I could be that free. So as far as research, I kind of just went with it, you know.
Quick question for you. Do you do Pilates or? Oh, wow.
Do you hope that this movie helps to get people talking about, I mean, porn, strip clubs, more so like normalizing it? Like, what do you hope that conversation is?
Yeah, I mean, more so just like, if you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. But I think that we are so, at least as women, trained to think that we need to keep that a part of our private life, which if you want to, that's totally fine. But it should be normalized, and it should empower you. It shouldn't embarrass you.
We do see your character, who's also named Lucy.
Lucy
Yeah.
Neal, and Lucy Hale. Crazy.
Isn't that funny? Meet this great guy, but not without a few hiccups. What is your most embarrassing dating story in real life? Do you have one?
It's so crazy, because all the people I've dated, we already like knew each other. So I haven't really done the classic meet you for the first time dating experience like ever in my life. I'm on like a dating site now, and I've still never met up with any of them because I'm too nervous.
Wait.
No, I just can't. Like, all the people I've dated, I've already known them, because I'm so shy. Believe it or not, I'm like really shy in that sense.
I'm like, do you feel like that's because you're in Hollywood and you have to be wary of people who might have ulterior motives? I feel like you're such a catch.
Oh, thank you. You're very sweet. I guess I'm just like expecting someone to come knock on my door. Like, I just don't put myself out there, but I think it's part of like my job plays into it. But I'm a shy person, I guess.
You said you're on a dating app, so how is dating then in quarantine going?
Really not great. It's not, I feel more single than ever, but it's fine. I mean, I think if anything during this time, it's taught us, because I've done the whole thing basically alone, and I used to hate like being alone, and I feel the only way I'm gonna date someone next is if they make my life better, because I'm so happy right now having my own routine.
I met someone, so I made a sex to-do list.
Best breakup ever.
Your character is such a list maker, so are there qualities that you actually look for in a person besides just making your life better?
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm really not, because I physically do not have a type. I've dated everything across the board. Sense of humor is everything to me, and I have a very specific sense of humor. That someone who's just like confident and comfortable in their skin. There's so many insecure men out there, and I can't do that. I've dated that. Don't want that. Work ethic, like drive, passion about, I don't care what you do, just like love it and do everything 110%. Like a good moral compass, just be a good person. It's very simple what I'm looking for, but that's hard. The simple qualities are actually harder to find.
Which is so sad when you think about it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Lacey's is closing, you guys, and I have just been offered the opportunity of a lifetime.
I do want to talk about Katy Keene really fast. I was very bummed because also we had just talked about your hopes for season 2 and you guys left off on this cliffhanger. Are there chances that it could get picked up somewhere else? Like, are there conversations happening about that?
I think maybe, but I think because of where we're at in the world, and I'm not getting my hopes up about it because I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Knock on wood, maybe. So I've kind of, I was sad about it for a week. I'm still sad about it, but like I was really sad about it for a week. And I made my peace with it, and I was like, get it together, Lucy. You had a great time. Nothing will take away from what I consider a really great season. And I would rather do one awesome season that people loved than do like 6 that people are like, oh God, like let it end already. So I feel I've seriously made peace with it.
Just heartbreaking. I mean, it's a job that has broken my heart numerous times. This is bad. This is a bad one.
That day that I like made that video on my Instagram and was like, this is what happened, I was so flooded with support and love that I needed to be reminded of that. And it was amazing.
You were very emotional in that video. Just what will you miss most about the show? The cast or?
Yeah, but they're still my people. Like they're still my, that's not going away. I miss New York. I really do. I really loved living there.
Yeah.
I miss playing Katy. I feel like I was like born to play her. So that's why it was so devastating. Because I was like, you're just cutting a life short. What are you doing? But not my decision.
I feel like you've been working so steadily for so many years in a row. I mean, even since before PLL, after PLL, you've just always like had the next thing lined up, and you do have projects lined up after this. Will you ever just kind of like take a break? Do you feel like now is a time to do that?
I feel like this time during this pandemic, quarantine, whatever you call it, it's the longest time I've ever had off, and I'm just like itching because I feel my best when I'm creative, and I feel my best when I'm productive. And there are ways to be that when you're in your house, but it's not the same. I love working. I love it more than anything. But I think maybe when I have kids, I'll take a little bit of time off, which that's in the future. That's not anytime soon.
It's funny that you say that though, because we just did a whole entire piece about the PLL cast and sort of growing up and how so many of you guys have had kids or have gotten married. Is that something that you think about?
Like everyone's married, everyone has a kid, and it's like,
no, there's nothing wrong with that. Like everyone's on their own path and journey.
I'm so cool with, like I said, I'm not settling for anything less than what I'm looking for. Because why? Why would I? But it's amazing to see people having babies on PLL and getting married, and it's nice supporting them from afar. I can't wait to, God, Atlas is cute.
Atlas is so cute.
My mom is more obsessed with Atlas than probably any human. She just like sends me pictures of her. I was like, I know, Mom, she's a beautiful child.
Yeah, she's a gorgeous baby.
Yeah, but yeah, that is something I want. I mean, I'll let it happen organically. I'm not like, it'll happen when it happens. So
yeah. What was it like to celebrate your birthday amid this pandemic? And did you get to do anything special?
I actually safely traveled home to Tennessee So I was like, I'm not spending my birthday in my house. So I went, my mom lives in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee, and just hung out with the family and like grilled out, and she got me a piñata. It was very sweet. I could have spent 4 months there, but hopefully soon, because I have 2 little nieces and a nephew, and their birthdays tattooed on me.
Before I let you go, let's go back to the movie. Why do you think people should watch this film?
First of all, it's so silly and a blast, and like it is so lighthearted. Like we need that right now. I think it's coming out at the perfect time. But also, like we were talking about earlier, it's just a topic that might make people a little uncomfortable, but like just go with it, sink into it. It's something we all do, we all talk about. It's such a big part of who we are. And I hope for women, I hope it makes them feel great about themselves and empowers them. And I think men will enjoy it as well.